Okay guys, we're back. Our dye is just about simmering here. It's almost to a boil, but not quite. That's just where you want it. You don't need a crazy rolling boil on this. I have my handle scales here, ready to go, taken apart. On this particular knife, the liners are press fit in with this lanyard tube. And honestly, it's more work to get that out than it is just to kind of wipe off the stainless steel when you're done. So the dye is not going to hurt the stainless steel at all on this. So worst case scenario, you just take a little Q-tip and a little bit of rubbing alcohol when you're done, and just kind of wipe it off if there's any residue that you get there on your stainless steel. So not worried about that. So a really important thing when doing this, guys, is you have to time how long your scales are in this dye. So the longer your scales are in here, the darker the color is going to get. So what I've done here, you can see I just tied a little piece of fishing line here around this lanyard tube, so I can pull this out periodically and check and see, how dark is this getting. And when you reach the color, the shade that you want, that's when you need to pull it out and go ahead and wash it off. So that's what we're going to do. So let me just show you here the kind of color that this dye is at. I don't know if you guys can see there, but again, this is the aquamarine, but it usually comes out a little bit darker looking if you have a darker G10 to begin with, which we kind of do. So this is what we're going with. I recommend that you put this in for about 1 minute intervals. So put it in for 1 minute, check it, pull it out, 1 minute, check it, pull it out. I think you'll find on a lot of knives you really only need about maybe 5 or 10 minutes of time, and you're going to be where you want to be. I've seen so many posts and stories of people, I want to, dye my handles, and, they leave them in for like a half an hour or too long, and they come out looking black, and you can't really go back once it's, well, that's kind of funny, but anyways, you know how that saying goes. Anyways, so yeah, you want to do it slowly. That way, if it's dying more quickly than you think, you can pull it out and save it before you ruin your handle scales or whatever. Also, I just quickly wipe these scales down with some rubbing alcohol just to remove any oils or dirt that may be on the scales before we go ahead into the dye. So, all right, we're ready here. I'm going to turn this down just a smidge, because honestly, this is even a little bit more flame than I need here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and put this in for about a minute, and then we'll see where we're at. All right. So here we go. Okay, guys, about 15 minutes of time has elapsed here, and I think I've hit the color that I just about want. If you can see there, nice deep blue. It looks a little more purpley with the light from my camera that's on here, but I'll get a better picture here in a second once I get this rinsed off. But I think we're pretty much where I want to be with this. So I think I'm going to pull it out, wash it, and see how the color looks. And if I want more time on it, I can always put it back in for more time. So be back with you. Hey guys, just got a little update here. So that previous color of Rit Dye, the aquamarine, was just not dark enough for these handle scales. So what I've done here is I've gone ahead and I've gotten a different color of Rit Dye, this time a navy blue. So we're going to go with a navy blue, darker color on these handles here, and I'll come back at you here and let you know how it turns out. Stay tuned. Okay guys, our handle scales are done here. When you're done with them in your Rit Dye, you're going to want to go ahead and rinse these off in like your laundry tub or something like I mentioned before. So what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and just rinse these off with some soap and water, and we're going to scrub them off here with a little bit of a toothbrush and just a little bit of dish soap, hand soap, whatever, just to get some of that remaining dye off. So once we have these cleaned up here, we'll go back inside for assembly and kind of a final conclusion. So let's go ahead and just get these washed off here. soap. Just kind of smooth that all around on both sides. And you guys can see here, I actually went ahead and took the liners off. Alright, so we're just going to scrub these down a little bit here, getting that last dye off. Put that to the side. Just a little more soap on this guy here. Scrub this up just a little bit more. Make sure you get all the spots. Okay. Okay, guys. Our scales are rinsed and cleaned off. I think you can see here, these turned out nice. The lighting in my garage here is not the best, but these are a nice, deep kind of navy blue. And as I was saying before, I actually went ahead and removed the steel liners from these. I think it just makes the whole process a little bit easier, and I think you get a little bit more of an even dye on both sides of the scale when you don't have the steel liners up against them there. So, okay, guys, there's the cleanup process. I'm gonna go ahead and reassemble the knife, and we'll do a little bit of a follow-up and conclusion here with this Rit Dye tutorial. All right, see you in a few.